all the altcoiners, they're trapped in this foolish notion that somehow the Bitcoin's going to move at the speed of the layer one. But that's just as foolish as criticizing New York for being built on granite that hasn't moved in 200 million years. Right? The granite underneath Central Park hasn't moved in 200 million years. That's why it's not valuable. That's why it's Boomer Park. Right? The granite doesn't have to move. The granite's not supposed to move.
Right.
What moves is the stuff above the granite, right? So Satoshi created something worth hundreds of billions that will be worth trillions, that will be worth tens of trillions, that will be worth 100 trillions in cyberspace. And you can build something on top of it. It's the only thing you can build on top of it, right? It's the first successful digital commodity. It's the only known instance of a digital scarcity.
This will pump Bitcoin to all-time highs. Insane bullish signal is here. Michael Saylor big Bitcoin announcement. Hello and welcome to our channel. In today's video, Bitcoin evangelist and chairman of MicroStrategy Michael Saylor updates about the importance of Bitcoin scarcity for the crypto space. The key reasons why Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin, why he believes that Bitcoin is a shining city in cyberspace. Make sure to stick around to the end of this video where Michael Saylor reveals his thoughts on the Lightning Network and its utility for the space. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the post notifications. Let's dive right into the video.
Now, if you look at the history of money, we build money on commodities, glass beads, bales of tobacco, large stone coins, silver coins, copper coins, gold coins. They're all commodities. What's the best money? The scarcest commodity. It was gold, but now the scarcest commodity is Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's not just double, triple, quadruple the stock to flow of gold, right? Bitcoin is in its terminal velocity, or at an equilibrium, it is infinite stock to flow. But in fact, you could make a better argument. It's not just infinite stock to flow. It's not just that it's capped at 21 million, therefore infinite. It's negative stock to flow, right? Because any rational person can say, I know there's no way to get beyond 21 million, but I also know that the forces of entropy, some dude is going to have their keys in their head and get caught in a traffic accident or a plane crash or drowned, and the keys will be lost forever, and that amount of Bitcoin will be removed from the system forever, never to be spent. And so force majeure acts of God, right, and acts of man are going to cause the Bitcoin supply to actually decrease from 21 million. We already, Satoshi set an example, but we also know of other large blocks of Bitcoin that have been lost. So Bitcoin isn't just the best digital commodity money, it's the best digital money. It's the best money because it has transcended the phrase commodity. There is every other commodity in the world, be it a digital commodity or a physical commodity, is uncapped. You can create more of it, right? Oranges, tobacco, copper, platinum, palladium, diamonds, oil, natural gas, corn, whatever it is, right? So how many times in the history of mankind have we ever created a commodity which was capped? Absolutely. Once. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's a scarcity. It's a new word. It's the first thing that ever qualified as that word. That's why everybody ignores it, right? When you use the word scarcity, everybody kind of like just arm waves it away because they don't actually see the significance of scarcity because they've never actually known scarcity. They think it's some kind of random, colorful, poetic descriptor. No, it's actually a noun with a specific meaning, which is a commodity with an absolute capped supply for all time.
Bitcoin's current bear market bears a striking resemblance to its last one, but research suggests that the recent low may be the currency's final support level. In the past few days, there's been a speculation that Bitcoin will experience a double peak, or two price increases that are higher than 21,000. The inference is that prices will fall. Falling volume signals that bulls will not be able to turn the level into support, and many market participants anticipate that new micro lows will be reached soon. The findings of recent research provide an alternative viewpoint that is more positive. It's difficult to overlook the similarities between the year 2022 and 2018. They summed it up by pointing out that Bitcoin repeats itself, alongside a comparable BTC-USD chart. This chart contrasts what occurred after Bitcoin reached its all-time high of 20,000 in 2017 with what occurred after Bitcoin reached its all-time high of 69,000 in 2021.
Who is Satoshi Nakamoto, right? Pops up in the Bitcoin world, right? So Satoshi Nakamoto is the person that looked at the system and said, the system is corrupt or it's dysfunctional. If we wanted to make it narrow, we would say Satoshi Nakamoto looks at currencies and banking and says the system is dysfunctional. If you wanted to be a bit more provocative, you say it's just corrupt. And John Galt looked at the system and said it's dysfunctional, and Ayn Rand would have said it's corrupt. And so John Galt's solution is everybody quits their job, they stop creating things, right? The heroes basically sabotage their own companies. Like Francisco Kanye sabotages his own company and goes off to Galt's Gulch, and eventually the rest of the creators do the same thing, and that's their protest. The idea being, if we just all withdraw from the economy, then maybe somebody will notice and we can create a better world. So when I went into the speech, my view was, well, I have a chance to speak to objectivists, and they've all read the book, and they all must agree with the ideas of Ayn Rand. I did a quick check. I think the book sold 9 million copies. So, and it's a long book. It takes 60 hours to listen to it on an audiobook. So it's a 1 week long read. So it's not the most efficient way to deliver the ideology. And maybe it was the right way in 1957. Right? Makes sense. But I wanted to reach this entire group, and I wanted to explain to them after, how many years is it now? After 65 years of understanding the problem and then commiserating with each other, maybe it would be more constructive to do something about it. Because the only suggestion that Atlas Shrugged offers is you can just go on strike and withdraw from the society, whereas Satoshi offered a much better suggestion, a much more constructive suggestion. Instead of trying to change the world that you disagree with, trying to right the dysfunction, trying to cure the corruption, all of which is an impossible task. And it's clear it's impossible based upon the Hayek quote that I use in the speech, right? You can't simply change the entire world for the better, by addressing all 100 vectors of dysfunction.
According to the chart, after a bear market that lasted for an entire year, Bitcoin USD came close to reaching macro lows in a manner that was comparable in both 2018 and 2022. As a result of this, the dip to 17,600 that occurred in June and the lows that occurred in the first half of October may in reality have been a double bottom, similar to what occurred in the fourth quarter of 2018 and the first half of 2019. Should it prove out to be accurate, the next logical step for Bitcoin would be an upward move, and the cryptocurrency should escape another collapse episode. Another piece of optimistic information comes from Bitcoin's NVT signal, which one trader and analyst interprets as a signal that the charts are about to experience a huge jump. The NFT signal, which is a derivation of the network's value to transactions ratio, is poised to replicate the pattern of behavior that has been responsible for a significant increase in the price of Bitcoin in previous years.
Well, let's start with why cyberspace is dead. What is a shadow? A shadow, just like, Plato's, analogy of shadows in the cave. A shadow is an image of something in the real world. So the shadows in cyberspace are credit. So like when you're circulating $100 on a credit network, right? The $100 doesn't exist on the network. It's a shadow of something that exists. It's a shadow of a shadow, right? Ultimately. Right. And if the bank decays the deal, the money didn't change hands. So when I represent something in cyberspace, I represent, for example, that I am me, and I get a blue check. Okay, and that is a certification by a trusted third party, right? Twitter is the trusted third party, and my persona in cyberspace is a shadow of me. Okay, so credit is a shadow of money, And avatars, on Facebook or YouTube or whatever are shadows of people. And then what are the ghosts? I mean, the ghosts are the bots, right? The ghosts are, when you go to YouTube and Michael Saylor is doing a Bitcoin giveaway and there are 25,000 people listening, they're not even shadows. They're 25,000 ghosts that were conjured up by a neuromancer, right? Cybermancer, who's just, writing code. So the status quo of the internet before Satoshi is everything is an image, a shadow of the reality, right? And a credit reflection of reality based on one or more trusted third party or one or more counterparties. And they all have counterparty risk, right? Because like today on Twitter, in my notifications, I had 10 Elon Musk Bitcoin giveaways pop up with blue checks. Okay, so do I trust the blue checks? No, because I'm smart enough to realize that 10 blue check Elon Musk Bitcoin giveaways are obviously hijacked.
When the NFT signal surpasses the MVT ratio, and the MVT signal was before, the price of Bitcoin has climbed by an average of 450% over the course of the past 3 years. Very soon, I anticipate that we will see a large candle that is green in color. Alongside a chart, the trader added NFT signal forecast that there will soon be a significant move for Bitcoin. According to an update posted on the official Twitter account of the company on November 2nd, the largest Bitcoin options exchange in the world, Deribit added its account compromised to the tune of close to 28 million. According to Deribit, the company's hot wallet was cleaned out just a few minutes before midnight the day before. Since quite some time ago, Deribit has held the position of being the most successful cryptocurrency options exchange in terms of open interest and volume related to Bitcoin and Ethereum options. On Wednesday, the official Twitter account of the exchange complained that almost 28 million worth of cryptocurrency from the trading platform's hot wallet had been stolen. The breach comes on the heels of a close that Deribit incurred after it liquidated a few holdings connected to the well-known cryptocurrency hedge fund, Three Arrows Capital, which has since gone out of business. On Wednesday, Deribit announced that it would suspend withdrawals until the exchange could be satisfied that everything is secure to reopen. The cryptocurrency derivatives company went on to elaborate to say that there will be no influence on the company's insurance and that the loss will be paid for by the corporate reserves. In addition, Deribit reported that it had increased the required minimum number of confirmations for deposits, which resulted in a delay in the crediting of cash.
The biggest idea is that once I put it in cyberspace, it's not just immortal, it's pure energy, right? People get confused about energy because, and we could talk about it a bit, the truth is it's even better than energy, it's scarcity. And I'll explain why in a second. Energy is something tangible in the universe, but energy is not scarce, right? There's infinite energy in the universe. Every star has got infinite energy, compared to human requirements. So there's plenty of energy in the universe, but energy is a commodity and it is value. And so if I give you 1 million barrels of oil and you can pump 1 million barrels of oil a day out of the ground, you're rich and you've got value. It's not a scarcity though, it's a commodity because there's no cap on it. So if I could actually inject digital barrels of oil into cyberspace, and if I told you I was going to give you 5 million digital barrels of oil a day in cyberspace, you would also be rich and happy, right? I mean, I see the smile on your face, so that's good. But it's still not scarcity because you can't stop anybody else from creating energy. Right? The problem with your 5 million barrel of oil a day monopoly is if I create nuclear power plants and I don't need oil, or if I create fusion reactors and I give you a fusion reactor the size of a thermos that'll generate enough power to light up a city for a year off of, 8 ounces of water, the oil as a commodity gets demonetized, you see. The utility function of oil is going to crash when the machines of the civilization don't require oil. When the machines of the civilization require natural gas has utility. So energy has value in the real world. If I put energy into cyberspace, it also has value. But there's something better than digital energy. It's digital scarcity. And the idea of digital scarcity is, it's not just that I'm bringing something of value into cyberspace. I'm creating something of value which is ultimately scarce everywhere and forever. in cyberspace. I'm creating 21 million blocks of value and no more. So what Satoshi did was he created the ability for you to move a block of value in the form of a digital commodity, which is also a digital scarcity, from point A to point B, from a computer to a computer. Once he did that, then in theory, you can move that on a layer 2 or a layer 3. We saw today Cash App released a new degree of support for Lightning. So now I can move a block of Bitcoin via Bitcoin transaction on layer 1, or I can move it on a Lightning transaction.
So what are your thoughts about Bitcoin Lightning Network? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon with the next video, and thank you so much for watching.